For now, the Saints heading to Seattle this weekend. They stayed out on the West Coast. They played the Rams this past Sunday. Drew Brees had surgery on Wednesday to repair the torn ligament in his thumb. So who will the quarterback be for the New Orleans Saints? Well, Sean Payton not willing to name a starter, making it clear he is going to use both options at his disposal, Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill. And I like this, right? It makes sense. Use them both. You use Taysom Hill when Drew Brees is there. You may as well use Taysom Hill, and probably even more extensively when Teddy Bridgewater is there. And you put pressure on the defense, Chris, to be ready for both guys. And I think this is going to be a potentially intriguing package and maybe a glimpse of the future as soon as 2020, life after Drew Brees. Sean Payton getting a taste of it now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he uses this. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't sound like as far as who starts the football game. I guess I can understand starting Teddy Bridgewater. He, of course, has starting experience in environments like this. He wouldn't be overwhelmed. This would be Taysom Hill making his first start in one of the loudest, craziest stadiums in all of football. So I could see that being maybe the biggest concern for a guy like Sean Payton. But, Mike, I'll say it. I've been saying it on my podcast. I think I said it yesterday. I can't remember because I talk so much. But I still think Taysom Hill is the guy that gives this team, the offense, their highest ceiling, especially these next 2 weeks with Seattle and Dallas Cowboys on the schedule. Teddy Bridgewater, we know what he is at this point. He's a game manager. They're going to run the Drew Brees offense, but it's going to be a little less than version, where Taysom Hill, I think, gives the defensive coordinator a lot to think about because of different packages and wrinkles you can throw at him, let alone the physical ability with the big arm and the running and the scrambling that he can make the plays off schedule too. And that's where I really love the Taysom Hill advantage.
And then you've got the mad scientist who is Sean Payton coming up with various plays aimed at creating opportunities where guys are wide open and Taysom Hill or Teddy Bridgewater can throw the ball, and there's the touchdown, there's the first down, there's the drive-sustaining play that Sean Payton is so well known for coming up with. And he's constantly studying and searching and thinking about ways to make that offense better and to find those mismatches based upon the specific matchup they have. And one last point.
Right.
This is the first time Teddy Bridgewater and the Seahawks have gotten together since the Blair Walsh game.
Right.
So the Seahawks know what Teddy Bridgewater can do. Now, that was before Teddy Bridgewater's knee injury. But with the game on the line, Teddy Bridgewater, against that Seahawks defense, moved the ball down the field and got the Vikings in position for what would have been a game-winning field goal, but for Blair Walsh. So, the Seahawks, I think they're going to have their hands full. And I think anybody who just thinks the Saints are going to tread water between now and the time Drew Brees comes back, they haven't been paying close attention to the Saints in recent years. They haven't had to get by without Drew Brees, but I think that Sean Payton will be able to hold it together until Brees comes back. And Sean Payton wouldn't talk about a timeline for Brees' return. 6 weeks is the number that's been out there. But, Chris, I think that they weather this storm, and they'll still be in position to be relevant in their division because it's not like their division is great.
No, the division is not great. I think that's the biggest point. You're spot on there. And again, let's just not forget, New Orleans is a talented football team. They match up well with a team like Seattle. Seattle wants to run the ball. New Orleans' run defense will be one of the better ones in football. It was last year. They're phenomenal up front. So they're going to be accustomed to playing this physical style of football. Let's not forget, New Orleans went into Baltimore last year and won that game and kind of played like a lot of Taysom Hill power run football. So that's where I expect the Saints to kind of change their MO a little bit. It'll be more creative with the run game in general, with Taysom Hill design runs and all that. But I'm with you, Mike. The Saints ain't going down without a fight. And I think they will weather this storm. And I still think they're going to go to the playoffs, even without Drew Brees, for the next 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I had them not making it to the playoffs before the season started, so it's not like I'm going to change my mind at this point. But I'm not ready to write them off, especially because of the struggles of the other teams in their division.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.